Goodson. Okay.
We're ready to resume, Mr. President.
Session is resumed. Senator Cayetano has the floor. Senator Soto wishes to interpolate.
Thank you, Mr. President. As rightfully manifested by Senator Cayetano, who was the previous majority floor leader, someone who has the floor has the floor. And once he yields, he has lost the floor, actually. So it is best that we continue with my interpolation on the speech of Senator Cayetano. So will the distinguished gentleman from Taguig yield to a few questions?
Yes, Mr. President, my privilege. Thank you, Majority Leader.
Thank you. In fact, Mr. President, I was just about to move for the referral of the speech of Senator De Lima and Senator Cayetano to the proper committees, in this case, perhaps Committee on Justice and then Committee on Public Order. But my curiosity was aroused by a number of points that were raised by the two senators, Mr. President. So, inasmuch as Senator De Lima does not wish to be interpolated, I would like to pick the mind of the former Majority Leader on some of the issues she raised and also the issues that Senator Cayetano raised. Let me start, Mr. President, by the reaction of Senator Cayetano on a quote that I have read somewhere. It says, "A person has lost his human right when he destroyed the lives of many young people." Does a person lose, when does a person lose his human right? Or does he ever lose?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Majority Leader, Mr. President. But actually, it is a pregnant or trick question because basta may hininga ka, in fact, kahit patay ka, may karapatan ka pa eh. Pag patay ka na, may karapatan pa rin yung, kaya may libel, di ba? Pagka yung memory nung patay ay inupakan mo, yung kung kanino mapupunta yung katawan o yung bangkay, karapatan ng mga kamag-anak mo yon. So, it is actually part of the political rhetoric when we say na yung mga pusher na yan, nasaan ang human rights because they destroyed the life of other people. And in the Duterte Cayetano campaign, we have heard that sometimes. But the President, during the time as a candidate, was always quick to explain and clarify that pwede mo lang patayin kapag ka lumaban. And he has said it time and time again, we will deal with the drug problem within the confines of the Constitution. But does a pusher or does a person lose some of his rights in certain stages of his life or of conducting a crime? Of course. For example, presumption of innocence. Pagka pumasok ka sa opisina ko ng 1 ng umaga, hindi ka naman nagpaalam, binuksan mo drawer ko, hawak ko mga dokumento, pumasok yung security ko o yung nagbabantay ng opisina ko, sinabi ko, hoy, ikaw magnanakaw. Hindi mo siya pwede i-libel, hindi mo pwede sabihin presumption of innocence. Para sa korte yon. Pagdating sa korte, we have to prove that nagnanakaw ka. But in that moment, the burden shifts to you for you to tell me bakit ka nasa kwarto at bakit mo hawak ang dokumento. So for example, Mr. President, Mr. Majority Leader, who is one of the leading fighters against drugs, no, not only during his term as Vice Mayor in Quezon City, but all the way here. Ilan beses niyo po sinubukan i-amend yung yung anti-drug laws natin, and many times successful because, di ba nagiging problema yung kung kailangan kasama yung barangay, paano ko yung barangay kasama sa pusher, di ba? So yung the burden of proof, for example, for saying that someone is innocent, pagka buy-bust operation, naglabas na ng droga, yung bibilan mo, hawak na niya yung marked money, right there and there, the presumption of the police that you are a drug pusher nag-shift. And right there and there, may presumption of regularity on the side of the police. So yes, may human rights pa ang tao kahit na anong sama ng ginawa niya. 'Di ba? For example, hindi tayo naniniwala sa hanging, sa firing squad. Kaya nung meron tayong death penalty, kaya nating ginawang lethal injection dahil naniniwala tayo sa humanity or meron human rights. Lastly, Mr. President, the Constitution says that there cannot be cruel punishment, cruel and unusual punishment. So that shows that kahit anong sama ng krimen mo, anong sama mong tao, ay pwede ka pa rin, meron ka pa rin karapatan, no? But that doesn't mean naman that pagka yung karapatan ng iba ay apektado na, supreme yung karapatan mo. So kung ako pusher, Mr. President, tapos nilabasan kita ng barel at sabihin ko, hoy, ikaw police, ako pusher, ako pwede kitang barilin. Ikaw, hindi mo ako pwedeng barilin. Mali ata yun. At that point in time, I give up my right, no, not to be shot or not to be arrested because lumaban ako eh. So, Mr. President, that's my interpretation of, that statement.
There's a very thin line in the way I comprehend the answer of the gentleman, but I will take it as that. All right. I will leave it at that, although I was about to ask if... Well, let me ask it. What if there is a person who rapes someone and kills someone, may human right pa rin siya?
Meron pa rin. He has the right to a counsel, right to remain silent, right to a trial. So, meron pa rin siyang karapatan. Pero wala na siyang right sa freedom when he is when he is incarcerated. He will lose his political rights if he is found guilty. So there are inalienable rights like right to life that can only be lost when you threaten the life of another. But there are also rights that you can lose because of your actions, di ba? Karapatan mo ang companionship ng asawa mo, pero kung hindi maganda trato sa asawa mo or kakaliwayan etc. at hiwalayan ka, you lose that right, no?
All right, let me move on, Mr. President. I wanted to dwell on it, but never mind. I'm sure...
I understand your point, Mr. Majority Leader, Mr. President. That is why I'm saying I agree with the former Justice Secretary. You cannot go around shooting people. But I disagree with the impression being made. The international community is also watching us when the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said about the extrajudicial killings of media. Our representative to the UN did not even defend our president-elect. He did not even question the Secretary General of the UN, who had no right to make that statement. That is not part of his powers. This is no tyrant, despot. He was the president-elect. He did not know the context, but it is there in the record. And there are people trying to besmudge or trying to smudge the reputation of our country and our president by making it appear that we are in the wild, wild west. On the contrary, Sir President, Mr. Majority Leader from Quezon City, nikot po tayo sa mga barangay ng Quezon City. It's much more quiet now. People are saying that they now have human security, they now have safety. They can now walk in the streets and hindi sila takot. So, yung pong nilalabas sa media na parang wild, wild west at kahit sino na lang babarilin, di ba? It's just utterly false. No? Am I saying everyone who was killed is justified? No. Kaya nga dapat imbestigahan. Right. But I'm saying that the campaign of the PNP is bearing fruit, and we should in fact congratulate them.
That brings me to one of the cards that was flashed earlier by while Senator De Lima was delivering her speech. There was a mail online quote of the president that said, "Go ahead and kill drug addicts." I've never heard the president say that. I've heard him say that kill the pushers, but I've never heard him say kill drug addicts. Why did that find itself in a mail online headline, Mr.
Mr. President, that's why I wanted to ask the Justice Secretary and our colleague, because the President has clarified that numerous times. He even told us about the rehab center that he has built in Davao. And how can you kill the addicts? First of all, they're victims. Second of all, there's 3 million. That will be genocide. That's precisely my point, Mr. Majority Leader. No? While the victims are crying, imbestigahan mo kami, may mga ginagamit to na amplifier na pinapalabas na wala ng order sa atin at kaliwat kanan na lang ang patayan. You know? If you look at the crime index and you look at what is happening per city, ha? You know, kahit sabi mo, 10, 15, 20 namamatay araw-araw. Ito yung lumalaban eh. Ito yung dating hindi nuhuli na dati dinuduroan pa sa mukha ang mga pulis eh. No? If you go to Tondo, for example, where I also have a project sa Palengke, panay bata ang ginagamit. At pag hinuli ang bata, ang sinasabi ng bata sa kapitan at sa pulis, bawal nyo kaming hulihin. Dahil alam nila yung batas eh. So, we're not pointing fingers here, Mr. President. What we're saying is this. Our colleague, Senator De Lima said, there must be a better way. What is happening now is a better way than the past administration. Because at the very least, na-address ang problema ng droga. Is there a better way than this? I hope so. But let's come up with those suggestions. Let's use our congressional hearings to come up with that better way. Pero yung sasabihin mo lang iimbestigahan natin dahil there has to be a better way, that doesn't really do us any good because anyone can say there must be a better way, no? So anyone in the audience can stand up right now and say, Senator Cayetano, you're wasting our time. There must be a better way. But teach me, what is that better way, no? You know, yung sabog na pusher na hindi alam ang gagawin, na may hawak ng armas, sumpak, barel, kutsilyo, hindi mo pwedeng, hindi sane yan, Mr. Majority Leader. I mean, you would agree with me, di ba? So, hindi katulad ng ordinaryong kriminal na nang-hostage or yung addict na nang-hostage na pwede mo sabihin, you talk them down. You move people back, di ba? You don't shoot to kill. Pero yung pusher, nag-buy-bust ka, tapos biglang naglabas ng baril, anong gagawin mo? Aatras ka, pababayaan mo una kang mabaril? So, that's my point, Mr. President. No, I agree. There must be a better way. What's that better way? But this way now is a better way than just neglecting dealing with the drug problem. And basically, that was what has happened in our country. Not to point any fingers. All of us were looking for a better way. All of us did not think that a nationwide Davao style of anti-drug would work. But it's working.
When you say a better way, earlier, indeed, I heard Senator De Lima say there must be another way, no? Talking about the killings. And you're saying there must be a better way. I do not totally disagree, but I would propose there must be other ways. All right? Like why? How? How did we get to this situation, this illegal drug situation? Perhaps one of the issues that should be taken up by the committees when they handle it, the Committee on Justice and the Committee on Public Order, would be to check on how our government has handled Section 92 of Republic Act 9165. What is Section 92 of Republic Act 9165? It's the delay and bungling in the prosecution of drug cases. If we have prosecuted well these drug cases, perhaps it wouldn't be this way. It wouldn't need to go into the wild, wild west. The last time we heard, we asked during a budget hearing last year, there was almost 80% drug cases dismissed. 94%, according to Senator Lacson. So, perhaps in your hearings now that will be conducted, let us ask the Department of Justice to submit how many drug cases they have investigated under Section 92. Then let us ask the Supreme Court for statistics on how many drug cases have been dismissed. Who are these judges who keep on dismissing these drug cases? These are other ways to probably handle the problem of illegal drugs. And perhaps lastly, indeed,
Mr. President, let me just agree with you on that point. There are parallel, other, and there's much more that we can do. I will agree on that.
Thank you. And lastly, perhaps one of the bills that is pending in the Senate Well, I humbly propose that the PhilHealth cover the rehabilitation. Kaya hindi na-rehab yung iba mahal eh. Yung rehab centers ng gobyerno, puno. But if PhilHealth will cover it, everybody, pwedeng lahat ng member ng PhilHealth na may kamag-anak, pwedeng ipasok sa rehabilitation center. We informed the President about that and he totally agrees. So perhaps this is one of the issues that should be taken up by the Committee on Public Order, Justice and Human Rights, the Committee on Health, and report it out right away. This will help our situation right now, Mr. President. So I wish to thank the gentleman for his answers.